Okay, so Leo, you haven't read the chapter, or you know, ask you off screen. So I did. Yeah, we're filming this on a Friday. The chapter came out very late. You told me it came out at 1 a.m. That's what you told me.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 a.m. So yeah, I went to sleep early, so I read the chapter when I woke up, and it's a pretty controversial one. That's all I'm going to say. Very.
Oh, really?
Ooh man, Leo, those the JD Legend, one of the live reactors I see. He was livid.
Yeah.
He was livid in his live reaction. It was a 30-minute live reaction. Normally he does like 20, like lower than 20 minutes, but this one was like a long one. You know? It was funny though. It was funny. His live reaction was hilarious. But he was loving um another guy, Randy Troy. He always loves he pretty much loves every chapter. But this one he wasn't really feeling it that much, at least. Um his wife, who occasionally shows up in the stream, she commented during the live reaction that it's a 1 out of 10. Um
Oh,
the chapter.
wow.
Yeah. I disagree. It's not 1 out of 10. It's not 1 out of 10. My opinion on the chapter was a decent chapter. It was a pretty good chapter because there's some things. Leo, I'm telling you, I got to control myself, but there's some things in the chapter that praise Golda. But
I I feel like I have a suspicion considering how you're phrasing it.
yeah, praise Golda, bless his heart. God bless Ola. But well, when we get to the point, I will say it. And but other people, some people really love the chapter. It's a very controversial chapter. Very controversial. So we starting off with the Utah thing. This is the last one. And basically it's pretty funny because the first panel we see the redhead pirates, and they're in the child care meeting. They're discussing what to do with Utah. She hasn't gone to sleep. They're asking how do we make her go to sleep, and then look at Rue. He says, "Why don't we knock her out?" And then Beckman is like, "If we do that, the whole crew is going to beat you up. If you do that." And then Shang-Chi says they haven't slept for weeks, and but then they see this like lady. She's like singing a lullaby, I guess, to her kid, and they notice that the kid's sleeping, so they do the same thing to Yuta, and then I guess Yuta, she's reminiscing of this, and she wrote this song "Where the Wind Blows." And this is the last one of the 3 mini chapters that I'll do for promoting From Red. From Red already came out in Japan. I'll avoid spoilers, but one thing I heard today that it's not even in the movie. Apparently, when you go watch the movie in Japan, they give you like a booklet, and in the booklet they give you some information that's not even in the movie. For example, apparently Yuta, she is adopted, which that's what I assume she was adopted. And there was this other thing. May not mention it here, may mention another video, but there was another crazy thing that I guess we'll discuss on a later day, so whenever that happens. So yeah, that's the Yuta thing. The people are saying that the lady could be Luffy's mother, and the little kid's Luffy. Luffy and Yuta, I think they're roughly the same age. I think Yuta is like 1 year older than Luffy, so or a couple years older. So yeah, maybe. Actually, the most recent episode of the anime, which I haven't seen, is like a filler episode promoting Film Red, and they're seeing Luffy as a kid interacting with Yuta. And if I'm correct, at the end of the episode, they play the song "Where the Wind Blows." Um, since I haven't watched the episode, I don't know how the song goes, but yeah. And if I'm correct, this episode plus the other 2 episodes are going to be filler for the Film Red. So the next 2 episodes are probably going to talk about more about Yuta and all that. So but yeah, that's the Yuta stuff. Now let's go to the actual chapter. This is the cover page. Caesar poison gas attack. So I don't think we mentioned this in the last live reaction that we did, but yeah, some people mentioned maybe Caesar could show up and save the day. Did we mention Caesar? I don't think we ever brought up Caesar in the last video.
I I don't recall
Yeah, I
having
don't recall
mentioned
either,
Caesar.
but
Yeah.
but yeah, people were saying maybe Caesar he will show up and attack Karakuri. Um, but it looks like he's doing that. But obviously Karakuri he's a class of he's a class way above everyone here. So I don't see this
Yeah.
doing that much. Maybe it will be a little distraction, but I really
Yeah.
don't see it much. And also Oven, he's there. Oven, he's no slouch either. Oven, he's a strong fighter. So yeah,
Yeah. Plus,
I don't.
he
Uh
controls
huh.
heat. I'm
Oh
pretty
yeah,
sure gas
he
is a disadvantage there.
yeah. But also depending what type of gas Caesar does, because he
Yeah,
could
yeah.
control any type of gas. So yeah,
True, true.
yeah. So there's that. So yeah, now let's start with the chapter proper. So it says here, a tale is being told in the capital, and then someone says, dark clouds gather. A storm echoes through the sky, consuming Onigashima. The roar of the usher dragon and the howls of the countless other beasts join the cacophony. At Habu Port, the scattered leaves of fall are bleached, auburn, and the patterning ring. The stage is set for a tale of duty and honor. This is a story of the royal retainers and their quest to let Koski Olden's name shine once more. And someone says yo in the background, like yo. I'm assuming it's like yo, like the Japanese yo. Someone says, the guy continues, many a hardship lie in wait, but they stay resolute to meet their fate. The red scabbards, as the evening of the fire festival starts to unfold. So basically, they're doing like a Rokugo tale. I'm assuming it's Rokugo because there's only one dude in the stage. So they're like doing like a Rokugo tale basically the whole one arc, or at least the only Onigashima raid to the end. Um, and using like these big giant words like cacophony, and very
Yeah.
detailed descriptions of everything. Yeah, this is
Oops.
what reason?
Oops. Already saw the next panel.
Oh, yours on the next panel? Okay, yeah. So the next panel. 4 is near Tokage Port. Udon. What? You're not heading out to sea? Yamato, nope. I'm staying. I've already spoken to Luffy and the others about it. Okay, so before I continue, I don't feel my face, but I have a huge grin on my face. When when I read this, I
I
yelled,
can
"Let's!"
only imagine.
Yeah, you can only imagine. When I read this, I yelled, "Let's go!" My brother was there. We the meme of I don't know what, I think it's Predator. I'm not sure. You know the meme of the big buff black guy and the big buff white guy, and they shake hands. You know what meme I'm talking about? So that was me and my brother. We were like that, like let's go. You were yelling, let's go, because like okay, like I mentioned in the previous video, I don't mind Yamato joining, right? But okay, no, you know what? Let's start from the beginning. Yamato got introduced. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
uh, I'm like, okay, cool. She has a cool design, all that jazz. She's really strong. Her introduction was very epic. She one shot ulti, like Thunder Bagua, really cool. And the anime was really cool too. So you're like, okay, this is a really cool introduction. Cool, like a cool way to fighting, all that. And then her character design, of course, God bless her character design. But that's really good too. But as the arc continue, you know what I realized, Leo? As the
What do
arc,
you realize?
I was just horny. That's what I realized. Like, that's, that's what I realized. Like, and then as the arc continues, post nut clarification hit. I'm like, you know what? There's nothing about Yamato that really, I'm like, that I really don't see what other people see in Yamato. I guess I could understand, the LGBTQ angle. I could understand that, or people like our library O'Hara tour. Like what Yamato has gone through. I assume. I'm just assuming here, but I assume like on the personal level he connects with that. I'm pretty sure he has mentioned it before. Since I don't watch his videos or all his, I really don't tweet. I really don't read most of his tweets. I really don't understand what he sees in Yamato, but I could kind of understand from the little bit I know about Autor. So there's that as well. But in my case, I really don't. As the art continues, I really don't see anything in Yamato as a character besides the really good design and the fine style and all that, and the cool devil fruit. She has the cool devil fruit. Other than that, her personality, I really don't like her personality, I guess, or the the lack thereof. the lack thereof, because her
Dang.
whole stick is like, I'm Olden, I'm an Olden fanboy. At least Bartolomeo,
Damn.
Was kind of funny, with his whole the Luffy senpai and the straw hat, like Zoro senpai. At least Bartolomeo was funny, but in the case of Yamato, I really don't like the whole Yamato thing, you know. And
Welcome to the roast of Yamato, everybody.
the no the Rose of Yamato, no, it's gonna be this is depending what you think of the chapter, it's gonna be the Rose of Wano, depending of what you think of the chapter. But
Oh, really? Now.
yeah, it's not going to come from me, but the community, one dude told a live reactor that they should do a live stream similar to Reverie, but instead of calling it the Reverie, they should call it the Rose of Wano. And the dude was like, I like the idea. I'm like, wow, and he's like Randy Troy. He's like one of the people who defend all for the most part. So if he's saying that, well, but going
So
back
wait,
to
wait. This chapter made people's like they already solidified their opinions of Wano because of this
like,
chapter.
yeah, pretty much.
Damn.
Oh, because the chapter's called Final Curtains. I guess from that you could
So
assume.
so I'm assuming it's the end of Act 3.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, going back to Naruto. So yeah, like I was saying, like like one dude I remember a long time ago, midway through Onigashima, Yamato just got introduced. We see her character design and all that, and someone tweeted. To this day, I remember this tweet. Someone tweeted, "Yamato's side boob is carrying Wano," and, and then I don't think it's carrying Wano. I think it's carrying her character, but you know, not Wano, but her character. So I'm kind of like that guy who tweeted that a long time ago. I forgot the obviously I don't remember the app, but yeah, I remember someone tweeted that. A bunch of people liked it, and so today throughout the whole day I just been liking tweets of people saying let's go Yamato, she's not joining. I'm like, yeah, I'm liking every tweet. I remember one guy last week, he tweeted that he thought Yamato was going to stay because, and he gave really good evidence of why and good reasonings why he thinks Yamato is going to stay. And he was just talking about last chapter, like evidence from last chapter. And people were attacking him, people calling him an idiot, all that. And today he tweeted something, and and then I like this tweet because I'm like, this guy was making solid points. His points were solid. I'm talking about Huey, Danica Huey. What K? I didn't say I didn't say what G. that Danica Huey. So yeah, he tweeted that. I follow him. I like some of his takes. So yeah, I was liking those Yamato takes. And like I said last chapter, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Double D. The coin Ed from Ed and Eddie. A bunch of people were celebrating, early. Like people were celebrating very early on, like Roger's base. For months now, he's been saying Yamato's joining. That there's no way. Like it's obvious that she joined. And every week I'm like, you gotta wait. You just gotta wait and see because you just don't know.
I personally never counted like unless she's officially on the Thousand Sunny
Mm-hmm.
with the crew. Like we see like the panel wide shot of the crew.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
gonna be official. Like I, yeah, you get what I mean. Like she
Yeah.
was saying it constantly,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but it was like, well, I will see like until how this unfolds in the chapter.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah. So, and then so yeah, like a bunch of people like like him, like Roger Space and other youth. Now I think about, I don't think any other YouTuber, because for example, Mr. Moores, he released a video a while ago saying that Yamato is never joining the crew. So that's like strong words by Mr. Moores, but I agree with his viewpoints. And other YouTubers, they like me, they didn't care if she joined or didn't join. But they do have their reasons why they don't think she was going to join or why they think she should join. So I was pretty much on the fence. Not kind of on the fence, but like at the end of the day, I would prefer she didn't join because like I said in previous videos, there's like no, like, yeah, in the story she's saying she wants to join, but other than that, there's no evidence that she should join. And it's funny, like um marketing wise, Yamato's PR was insane because they were selling towels and a bunch of other merchandise. And you know what's on Twitter? You know that Rick and Morty meme about the robot that the only purpose is to serve butter.
What's
So
my purpose? To sell merchandise?
yeah, but to be more humiliating is to sell towels, to only sell towels because the towel was like the big thing, if I remember. It's a really good towel though. Like I can't lie, it's a good towel. Yeah, I like how they did the, I like how they did the straw hats. It's just so funny. It's the straw hats and Yamato, and people were using that as hardcore evidence that Yamato's going to join. Like, oh, they have her in the sell towels with the straw hats. Oh, she has to join. And but yeah, it's funny. We could talk more about this later, at the end of the chapter because
Yeah, yeah.
there's moments that we still could talk about this.
The
So yeah.
chapter must go on.
Yeah, the chapter was going. So Kinemon says, so are you really content with this Yamato? And then she says, aren't I welcome here? And Momo says, you are. We are just confused. A moment ago, you said you had me. You said you had made up your mind. And she says, oh, that. Well, Odin started with his journey with a tour of Wano, right? I realize there's so much out there that I don't understand, but I'm sure that I'll find my way if I follow in his footsteps, and I'm bound to make it out to sea sooner or later. Unbelievable you were able to tell them about all this. The moment says that does it. They must have intentionally snubbed me. Why did why why bid farewell to everyone but us? And then from here on, like here in the next page, there's gonna be flashbacks. So but before we continue, that's interesting. The reason why she didn't left is because she didn't learn anything. Basically, she's still with this whole Olden thing, and she's like, well, Olden he did a tour of Wano, so I guess I should do that first. But
Okay.
yeah. So
So her reason for not exploring is because she hasn't seen enough of Wano. If she had seen enough of Wano, she would have joined them.
probably, but also she really also she really hasn't seen any of the Wano because remember she only has been in Onigashima.
Okay. Oh
So
yeah,
so,
sure.
so yeah,
Onigashima. Yeah.
yeah. So but it's just funny because she's like, it's not like, oh, I haven't seen enough of Wano, so and let me actually explore Wano, learn about the people, learn a little bit about the culture and all that. No, she's like, Olden did it, so that means I have to do it too. So again, like I said, she hasn't learned anything about but my like I was saying in previous reactions, if she does join, then hopefully she will see her develop as a character. But now since she's staying, we're not going to see her develop as a character. That is going to be off screen, which I would prefer to actually see on screen. Assuming that she
Man,
does, assuming that she does
man,
develop. That's assuming she does develop in this time that she's going to explore Wano.
man, you can't see me right now, but I'm doing the Homelander face.
Which meme? Which one from all of them?
The one where he puffs his face and he explodes off the air like.
That's the, oh man, which that's before he does the milking of the cow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. People who hasn't seen the boys, they don't know what we're talking about. Like milking the cow. What? Homelander who? But yeah, I know what you mean.
Just put a picture for reference.
Yeah, I will probably, yeah. I don't edit my videos much, but this one I'll probably edit a couple memes. so I will edit that one too. So so yeah. And interesting. She says that eventually she will leave. So maybe she will, of course, meet up with the Straw Hats eventually. And then at that point she will join the crew. But it's just going to be so late into the story that me personally I'm not going to care. At least me personally, yeah. So let's continue. A bunch of flashbacks. Kaido, when Momo met Kaido for the first time, he's like, "Your name, your father was a fool of a lord." When Momo met Luffy for the first time, identify yourself, and he's like, "I'm Luffy." And there's a whole page of flashback. A bunch of people didn't care for this. A bunch of it's funny. A bunch of live reactors they skipped this mostly. But personally,
Wow.
since yeah. Me personally, since I love Momo as a character, it was really nice seeing how he developed as a character, and how his
Yeah.
relationship with his relationship with Luffy throughout the series. But yeah. Skipping that. It's basically, this page right here is basically for casuals, I guess, or for people who like forgot about like all the little details and all that. But yeah. So, and then the next page is half flashback, half present time. There's like the most recent stuff, when Kaido asked, "What's your name, Brad?" And Momo, he's like, "My name is Kosuke Momonosuke. It means second to none." Blah blah. One of my favorite scenes in Wano. And then in the rooftop, where Luffy says, that I'm going to be Kaido, and you stop Onigashima from falling. So yeah, there's that. Present time. Momo is saying, we may not have always gone along, but we went through a lot together. Is he really that heartless? I was wrong about you, Luffy, you fiend. He is mistaking being free with free to be rude. Am I wrong, Kinemon? Now, by the way, Monosuke-sama, is there a reason we aren't flying? And he says, quiet. That's very funny. He's like, quiet. Actually, there's a really, I like what Momo says here. He is mistaking being free with free to be rude. Which, if you think about it, Luffy, he's kind of rude. Like he says.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
He's callous, all right.
Yeah. So he's walking on the fine line of him being free and him being rude. And then if you think about it, if Luffy was a little bit evil, he will be like a Doctor Doom type character. Where Doom, he always says Doom does as he please. Like for example, I think there's like a moment, which is like a really random moment that instead of using the door, he just does a hole in the wall. And I think Black Panther's like, or Spider-Man, like, why you didn't just use the door? And I think he's like, Doom does as he please. Like, it's a really funny moment. So Luffy, he's like that close to be like a Doctor Doom type character. Like, he does what he pleases. But it was interesting, It's like an interesting balancing act that Luffy does. But yeah, like that one moment that he punched BB, of course, there's that, and other real moments throughout the series with Luffy. But yeah, I guess this will be like one of them that he didn't say goodbye to Momo or Kinemon. But let's continue on the next page. Kinemon says, Momonosuke-sama, you are the undisputed shogun of Wano now. Depending on Luffy Dono's words, I may have no choice but cleave him apart for this slight. I'm like, Kinemon, Luffy, he's going to off-screen you. Like, if you try to do anything, he's going to off-screen you. So, but it's funny. Of course, that's how they talk. That's how they think.
That's assuming someone like Zoro or Sanji would let him.
Yeah. That's assuming that. Yeah, that's true too. So, Momo says, exactly. That is the way of the samurai. I thought we were pals, Luffy. Which, like I mentioned, that's how they think. That's how the samurai think. Then Yamato, she chimes in and says, I think you're blowing this out of proportion. And, I think Momo says, he humiliated us. Overlooking this without giving him a few blows and bites is out of the question. And then now we go to Tokage Port, Udon. Law says, remember, the next time we meet, it will be as enemies. Don't whine to me if we're shooting to kill. Luffy says, gotcha. And Chopper says, see you around, Traff. And Law says, buzz off. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. And the kid in the background, he just like says sail, and it's really funny how all the Drew kid, it was like a really scribble. It's really funny. Then we see the Straw they got a new drip, and then they say someone says, "Hey," I'm assuming Momo, or so someone says, "Hey," and oh, before I continue, one of my greatest weakness is girls with overalls, and Nami, she's wearing overalls, and I'm not a huge Nami fan. I prefer Robin over Nami. But man, Nami with some overalls, dear Lord. She in film Red, she wore overalls. I'm like, oh God bless Oda. Whoever gave Nami overalls in film Red. I mean, not film Red, film Stampede. Like God bless whoever decided to do that. So let's continue. Momo says Momo says, you monsters. And Yamato is funny. Yamato, she's like, hey, we come to see you off. Monosuke, Kinemon, and Sanji is like, Yamato-san. Yamato-san. Momo transformed back to the human, and then Momo and Yamato, they jump on Luffy, and they're like, Luffy, what? Got you. Luffy is like Yamato's like Luffy with a heart, and who says this? I'm assuming Kinemon or Momosuke. Someone says, Luffy, you dastard. I had to look it up. I thought there was a mistranslation, but dastard
No, it's an
is
actual world.
yeah,
Word,
yeah. I thought yeah, I didn't know. So Luffy, you dastard. What is the meaning of this outrage? How can you abandon the two comrades you have known the longest without a word? And then you have angered the Shogun. What do you have to say for yourself? And Luffy's like, what's the big deal? We're meeting now, aren't we? That's pretty funny. like Luffy's like, what? Like, we're meeting now, so like there's no reason to be angry. That's pretty funny. And then so Momo is like, Luffy, there's an edict from the Shogun. And he's like, all serious. Then next page.
Ooh, what a fancy word.
Yeah, edict. And then you already went to this picture. So Momo, he's crying. He's like, please don't leave. I will be lonely. I want to be with you forever. It can't end like this. So he's crying. Luffy, he's like, what? Kinemon, he's like sighing, whatever. Mo was crying. I only managed to survive because you were there. You're the reason I can laugh again. Thank you so much for avenging my father and my mother. You see, I can't even express myself properly now. I'm scared of what happens next. Please don't go. And then Zoro says that's quite the pitiful sight. And Nami says, cut him a break. He's still a little kid on the inside. And then Luffy's like, Usopp, yeah, it's ready. Yeah. And they throw something to Momo. If we look, Frankie in the background, he's crying. He's always crying. Which is pretty funny. Chopper, he's about to cry. Jinbei, he's like laughing or smiling in the background. And Sanji, Robin, they're smiling. and Brooks, he's like, what's going on? He looks like what's happening? So next page, Luffy says, we've been waiting here all this time because I wanted to give you this. You can't play the tough Shogun with me, Momo. Even if you're a bit bigger now, I know what you're like on the inside. You're a small, weak dummy. But I think of you like a little brother, which that's really nice to hear. Just like how Whitebeard saw Olden, like a little bro. And then Momo's like, this is a flag. When times are tough, look at it and remember your seafaring adventures. Hang it up somewhere in Wano. If any major bad news come knocking, just point them to it. I will let them know that screwing with our friends is the same as screwing with us. Luffy epic pose, really cool pose there. The crew is there. And Mo says, does that mean I'm one of you? So it's like similar to BB, we could talk about this later, but it's very similar to BB. And then Luffy says, Kinemon, Yamato, Momo, if any of you ever want to be pirates, I'll come for you right away. And then they're like, all right. Just remember, I won't have any weaklings on board. And Momo, he bows down. Luffy says, take care of them, Yamato. He said, yeah. They're like, let's go. Keep it together, Shogun. Good luck, Momonosuke. Really good send off. And then Momo's like, Kinemon, yes, mark my words. Someday I will surpass Kosuke Oden. Kinemon, I will be by your side when you do it. And then when I read this, I rolled my eyes so hard that it was probably heard. It was probably heard in Japan. Although he probably heard this. So Yamato, she shines and she says, "You're talking about me," and they a good thing they say no. Like they yell no. So yeah. One JD Legend, when the live reactor who was living, when he got to this point, he looked at the camera and he's like, "I'm not laughing." He's like, "What's so funny?" He's like, "I'm not laughing. This is not funny." And then he went on the rant. So it was so funny. So Nami, with the overalls, God bless. So alrighty, let's course for Hakumai. The main port is there. I was told there's a lift that can lower the ships down. Not sure if you remember this, but it was mentioned like a while ago. So there's like a secret passage that the Beast Pirates took to go to Wano. So they're going to go there. Brooke says, "Phew, I thought since we scale a waterfall to get here, we had to fall down it to leave." And Chopper, he says, "Me too. Thank goodness." And then Kid in the background, no one instigator in the Hood Olympics.
Last but not least, we have Mark Phillips up in men's instigating.
He says, "Yeah, that makes sense. You guys will use the main port. It's the safe and sound way after all." And then he laughs. "Perfect for you wussies."
Perfect for you wusses.
Yeah, wusses. And then Law and Luffy, they're like safe and sound. They both snap. And then they're like, no, Luffy, being safe is good. Don't let him get to you. And then I'm
I'm pretty
assuming,
sure that's Nami. That has to be Nami.
yeah, that has to be Nami. I'm assuming Beppo, he's like, hang on, Captain. What's with that face? We all think the main port is better. And then Luffy's like, Jinbei, give me the helm. And they're like, Luffy, don't. And then the next page, they jump off. And then they're like, stop it, take this. No, we're all gonna die. And then it was pretty funny seeing them doing the shenanigans. Like, you know, like people are saying they share the same brain cells when they're together.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's so funny that Law, he's like the most serious one out of the three. But it just when it comes to Kid, you know, like I said, he's the number one instigator. You know, when it comes to Kid, him saying his little comments, it really gets Law riled up, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, cause like he's always cool, calm, and collected. Like when he's alone, like when he's
Yeah.
with these two, like all composure is thrown out the window. Like, they're those characters from Hercules, the witches, where they share the eyeball.
Yeah.
It's like that, but with brain cell.
Well, brains though. And I forgot this happened in Saboli actually when they first met. That so ever since in Saboli they had this relationship where Kid says something, he instigates the situation, and Luffy and Law they react angrily. So ever since Saboli they've been doing this. It just now since Wano. Now Wano they're like together, they've been together for a while. So we're seeing it more. But that's interesting. Ever since Saboli, I didn't remember that. But yeah.
Yeah.
So the guy who is telling the Rakugo tale, he says, the might of the outlaws, recruited by Lord Monosuke and Kinemon, made them aching to real life wisdom kings. Their power descended like a wrathful tsunami, obliterating all its path. Even Kaido, the Dragon King, and the yokai possessed giant Orion failed to withstand their assaults. Yo, Big Mom. It's like it's a weird way to describe her, but of course, people who will probably see her as that. Like a yokai lady. The heavens themselves were torn as a painful streak reverberating through the air. During that chaos, Princess Hiyori was accosted by Orochi, the snake that seemingly perished in the flames, and the desperate last-ditch attempt for his spiteful vengeance. Next page. His gambit was thwarted by a single slash. And who owns the blade that separated Orochi from his final cursed head? Who was it, Leo? If you're paying attention.
No, another the Kosuke Oda's second disciple.
Okay, yeah, Densho, yeah, because that's right there. Yeah. Why none other than Kosuke Oda's second disciple Densho. With his last one detached and burning, the twisted Kurosumi was at long last brought to his knees. And then, in the background, we hear the shamisen bum, playing throughout the whole thing. And then a flash of lightning marked the fall of Onigashima, and with it, the fall of the Dragon King Kaido. The sun had finally pierced the dark clouds that were suffocating Wano for 20 long years. The skies were cleared. Sounds from the ignorant masses celebrating the fire festival in the capital crept into their ears. Suddenly, defying all reasoning, the burning remains of Orochi spoke, and he said, "The Kurosumi family also this is new. This is like new information. The Kurosumi family's grudge shall continue to curse this rotten land generation after generation for all eternity." But Princess Hiyori refused to flinch or shudder. She held her gaze. The country's 20 years worth of torturous memories fill her heart. Really good panel over there of Hiyori. Right. And the next page. "Stand back, it's too dangerous, Hiyori-sama," cried the samurai Denjiro, but she brushed aside his hand. Our beloved princess will not yield a single step. Staring into Oroshi's devilish face, she delivered a damning epitaph. Her fan held aloft, the Kosuke crest proudly dancing on its edge. No longer having to bite her tongue, like she did for the last 20 years, she cried out, "Father, mother, brother, and our homeland, hear this." And then one random dude in the crowd says, "This is the moment I've been waiting for." And then the guy says, "We all know their name means charcoal, so all together now. The Kurosumi were born to burn." And then she does an epic pose. Oden, does his pose. And then Orochi, he's like being burned, and everyone's cheering. And Oroshi's crying. We will talk about this later. So let's finish the chapter. Yeah. So, and then It's revealed Hiyori, she's one of the shamisen player, and she's not wearing the mask, showing that she's no longer crying when she wears it. Pretty much, I guess. And then they're playing, and now time slides ahead to the day after the festival, where uh where fields and weapons can finally rest. A shocking truth is revealed at the port where the reversed crescent moon met. The denouement of the violent saga is a joyous reunion. The blood split, spilled.
Spilled.
Yeah, spilled. The blood spilled in order to revive this clan will never be forgotten. A record of their sacrifice will always be carried by the wind. That concludes today's tale on the nation's renowned samurai. Really cool panel there of everyone. Basically like a parallel when Odin created the scabbards. And sadly, Raizo, he's still the same. He's like at the corner right there. Sadly, he didn't become handsome.
So the ninja chick got younger and got more attractive, but Raizo got the end of the stick.
Yeah, it sucks, but that's how old it be. With his gags, there's like this. I forgot the name of it's like a treatment where I think it starts with L. You probably know what I'm talking about. It's like a treatment that women take to make them look skinny. What's the word? Little something. Little
liposuction.
Yeah. So someone do the drawing of like after. So the tweet said like after the failed attempts in Wano, Green Bull got fired as a marine, and he started doing that as a side job. And we see like Big Mom, she's like there in the line, and a bunch of other fat females in One Piece. So yeah, like I guess it only works on women. So that means Queen should be okay because Queen was really fat. But yeah. And then last page, it says, and narrator says, and how they miraculously returned to us. With that, I think we'll earn a break is in order. A well break is in order. Some people are like, Momosuke-sama, Shogun-sama, and Momo says, now, where shall we hang this flag? And then, till we meet again, farewell, final curtain, and Harry will never fades. So yeah, that's the chapter. Now, Leo, your thoughts before I say why people are angry, why people are like, why this chapter is so divided. So give me your thoughts on the chapter before I
it's all right. It's all right. Like, it doesn't compare with the previous chapters. Like, I would like with the whole Shank revelation or Amaki causing a scene. Like that's for sure. Like like compared to those ones, yeah, they blow this one off the water.
Okay.
Cause like my major gripe is that like we saw no signs of Yamato like improving on her character arc.
Yeah.
Like we started at square one, we left at square one. Like not even square two.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Her reasoning, it wasn't the best, but like
yeah.
Like honestly, like I would have said to like rejecting her all outright. I guess like and him pointing out the deficiency in her logic. Although I don't know if Luffy is that smart or know that much about Odin.
Well, Luffy, he's not sure if you know this, but he's emotionally smart. So maybe when it comes to that,
and battle smart.
Yeah, and battle smart. But I don't know, maybe because like for example, when Momo was being like crybaby or whatever, he pointed it out like, oh, you should be like this. So I guess he will probably done the same thing with Yamato. Given the chance, but we I guess we just need to assume it happened on screen because they did talk off screen, according to Yamato. So yeah. You caught off for a moment like slightly, but I'm pretty sure what you said was you'll prefer if Luffy like deny her like outright, right?
Yeah,
that's what
outright. Yeah.
That
would have been like a better reason for her to stay.
Yeah. It would have been funny. I didn't mention this last chapter, but throughout the week, people were saying that would have been funny if Luffy does the disgust face that Whitebeard did when all they wanted to join. Oh man, that would have been priceless. people have been really angry if that happened. You know, people were like, "Oh, Luffy, he's no longer my like Yamato fanboys." It will be like, "Luffy's no longer my MC." You know, oh man, that would been hilarious. Oh man, that would been very funny. But no, sadly we didn't got that. um, okay, so yeah, the Yamato fanboys, you know, they're very upset that Yamato did not join the crew. But the issue is not that. That's not even the issue of the chapter. So what do you think is the issue of the chapter besides the Yamato thing?
Well, that was my issue. Like it wasn't her not joining. It was more like her character did not change.
Yeah. Your issue
Let's see
was
what
like,
else.
yeah. Okay.
Let's see what else. Um, the fact that it was being told as a story, like it can't be that, cause like there's lots of moments in Wano where it's like it's assumed that there's a narrator from the future recounting this, like especially like when the acts end off,
Mm-hmm.
or like when
Yeah.
Momonosuke it's revealed that he turned adult. And he's like, and he became one of the best shoguns the Wano ever had.
Yeah.
Yada
Yeah.
yada yada.
Yeah.
That, that we already know that we're not gonna see Momo join. Like even though like if you ever want to become pirates like join, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, pero
But
wait,
Momo still,
whoa,
but,
and
but Momo still could join the crew later on and still become a great shogun. You know, like maybe he helps out in the final war somehow, like being part of the crew. Same thing with Yamato and Kinemon.
yeah
He
yeah
could
yeah.
like still help out.
Um,
But no, it's not that because actually, some people really didn't like the whole flashback portion, like midway right here. People really didn't like that. People were saying Toei wrote this chapter because you know in the anime, in the anime they place a lot of fillers. I would like to mention that yeah, it's funny. Yeah, Toei wrote the chapter, but think about it. If I forgot to look up her name. The director that did 10, 15, you know, chapter 1,000, you know, the
Roof
one that
piece.
yeah, Roof Piece. If she does this chapter, it's gonna be it's gonna be a really good episode because she's really good with flashbacks and like and you know arranging flashback moments. So I think she will do a really good job with this chapter. If it's not her, then yeah, Toei will milk the hell out of the chapter. But if it's
Yeah,
her,
I can definitely see an episode of just the flashbacks.
yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Now. Yeah. If it's not her, yeah, Toy will do that. Toy will do like a whole episode just flashback. But if it's her, like I think you know, I could just say it now. It's gonna be a really good episode if it's just her. Yeah, I could just imagine the lighting, the music, you know, them saying goodbye to Momo. You know, it's just gonna be really good if it's her, of course. But if it's not her, then you know, it's gonna be a bad episode because you know one episode is gonna be flashback and then the next episode is gonna be them saying goodbye to Momo. So yeah. That's one of the reasons, but that's not the main reason. So the main reason, let me look for the page.
Maybe I'm missing the bigger picture.
The main reason, yeah, you are, because people are like, a lot of people are really angry about this. I'm not one of those people, but a
Really?
lot.
About Hiyori.
This scene right here, So
Uh-huh.
okay, so you know we both have read Attack on Titan. So
Uh-huh.
so you know what's
Where
the
are you going with this?
okay? So you know I have mentioned throughout a couple of videos throughout the channel, and you know we have seen Attack on Titan, and there's something in Wano that happened in Attack on Titan. You know the cycle of the cycle of hatred. I forgot I forgot the thing. You know Attack on Titan, the cycle of
Yeah.
hatred. You know continue,
Yeah,
blah
yeah.
blah, yeah. The Wano is the same thing with the Kurosumi. That that if the cycle of hatred continues with the Kurosumi, not that means the citizen of Wanos they didn't learn anything about what happened with Roshi, because the whole reason why Roshi is the way that he is today is because the Kosuke clan and other people they hunted it down for 20 years, and but not for 20 years, but you know throughout their life, and that's why Roshi is the man that he is today, because you know like throughout the series of One Piece, you know the sin of the father should not I forgot how it goes, but you know the child should not be The child should not
Yeah,
have the sin of the
they don't
father.
inherit the sin of the father.
Yeah. They don't inherit the sin of the father. That's something that throughout the whole series of One Piece. So
Yeah. Ace being Roger's father,
uh-huh.
Roger's son.
yeah.
Luffy
So
being Dragon's son. Yeah.
yeah. And so on and so forth. Like and Robin. Like what the
Being
Frank.
Olivia's daughter.
No, but there's something that Frankie says. It's not a sin to live or something like that. It's not a sin to be born, something like that.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of moments like that throughout the whole series. And the reason why a lot of people are angry with this scene is because Hiyori, she says, let me read from here. So the narrator says, the guy who's telling the tale, he says, we all know their name means charcoal, so all together now. They say the Kurosumi were born to burn, right? And so, basically there's
it goes against the whole idea of peace.
yeah.
Like it's you're not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it goes against the very ideals, like that you don't inherit the sins of your ancestor, or father, whatever.
Yeah, all
Like,
that jazz.
yeah.
And then
And it seems like it perpetuates the cycle of hatred, like you were mentioning.
definitely. It does because Orochi in the previous page he says the Kurosumi family's grudge shall continue to curse this rotten land generation after generation for all eternity. Now, we don't know. The thing is, we don't know if this part right here, the whole Hiyori thing, and according to the tale, Orochi he spoke after his head cut off. We don't know if this actually happened. We don't know if this is what's the word? Oh, I forgot. I blacked out the word, but we don't know if this did not happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Creative,
Like
creative liberties.
it was added afterwards.
Yeah. This could be like the dude. He's taking some creative liberties. That was the word I was looking for. And he's adapting the tale how he please. We don't know if this was we don't know if he already actually said this, or if Orochi actually spoke. After his head cut off. We don't know if that happened. But yeah. That being said, a lot of people are like, oh, this goes against the ideal. The themes of the number one theme throughout One Piece. The about the sin of the father and all that. And but when I first read this, it was hype. For me, it was hype because it's a callback to the olden thing. The pun. Like I think we already knew. We already knew for a while that Kurosumi meant charcoal. Because every clan has moon in their name except Kurosumi. Their name is charcoal. And then so when I read this, I'm like, oh, they're doing it, but with Olden, it's really cool. If we see him, and then it's really cool. Everyone says it, But then after the first live reaction I saw was JD. He was he was livid. He was very livid when like he was like he was going to skip this, right? Not skip it in the way that he didn't read it, but skip it like okay, I read it, let's move on. But then he's like, you know what? No, let's not move on. Let's actually discuss this, and that's why the video was pretty long because he talked about this. And then like we said, the psycho hatred will continue. They didn't learn anything. There's not. He says it's terrible, right? I don't think it's terrible, right? Because I have my reasons, but it is not a good message, of course. But okay, if you think of it this way, they've been 20 years for Will Roshi. Like the stuff that he has done is very messed up to this whole country. And of course, Hiyori, she lived those 20 years with Orochi. To me, it makes sense that she says this to him. If assuming she did say this, it's like some creative liberties that they're doing with the play. Yeah. So to me, it makes sense. Of course, everyone hated Orochi. So I guess also, of course, it makes sense that everyone cheers on with this. And but people are making memes about this. Like, imagine you're a Kurosumi and you're in the play and you hear this, right? But no one knows you're a Kurosumi. Yeah, you'll be like, oh, but I'm kind of good, like, come on.
It reminds me of that 150 Cent meme where he's like where he's reacting to someone saying, "Oh, fuck Nelly, fuck Fulano, fuck 50 Cent." I'm like, hey, wait, fuck me? Why fuck me for? What did I even do?
Woke up, I look at the computer say, Floyd said, fuck T.I., fuck Nelly, fuck 50. I'm like, what do you say fuck me for? Nelly fucked your first baby mama, Melissa, then took your fucking fiance. Say fuck that nigga.
I don't think I'm aware of that meme, but it sounds funny. Yeah. yeah. So yeah, pretty much, like that. Like what did I do? Now, some people on Reddit, like native Japanese speakers, they commented that the way that Oda wrote it is that Hiyori is only referring to Orochi. She's just referring to him. And I guess, I guess how they translate it in English was like for the pun could work, they said that. We just need to wait for the official to see how they do it. Because
how they handle it.
the only way to fix this, like for English speaking, readers, if the guy here, he says, we all know his last name means charcoal. So let's all, all together now. Kurosumi Orochi was born to burn. That's like the only way they could fix it. For that way, they're only referring to him, right? And then but there's something interesting. The guy says that it's an epitaph. That what Hiyori does here is an epitaph. If I'm my understanding, epitaph is like a nickname, right? It's like a nickname.
It's more like how to explain.
Because the reason why,
like how it's like a title.
Like a title.
Like it's what you would write like in a tombstone. Like,
yeah.
Oh, here lies comedian. He was pretty funny, or whatever. Like, or here lies me. Make an epitaph. What's confusion?
I was gonna say that my confusion is my epitaph. Yeah. I was gonna say that. Yeah. Shout out to King Crimson. Shout out to King Crimson.
Yeah.
Yep. So, so yeah, but the reason why I think it's a nickname because a bunch of people, when referring to, for example, Luffy, they say, oh yeah, his epitaph. Well, by people I mean like reactors and YouTubers. They say, oh, Luffy, his epitaph is Straw Hat. They always say epitaph, not nickname, not moniker or whatever. For some reason, so that's why I always thought epitaph just meant like a nickname, like a fancy word for nickname. So, but another way they could fix this whole Kurosumi were born to burn. If in our world, some families they have like a slogan, like in their coat of arms or whatever. So what would be interesting if the Kurosumi slogan is that we're born to burn because they know their name is charcoal, and in that way they're doing it in a positive way. They're spinning it in a positive way because we know our name is charcoal, so we're born to burn in a way that not in a negative way but in a positive way. We're meant to be like fiery people, like I guess we're meant to burn bright, maybe.
And it's a spin on that.
It's a spin on that, right? And then
but in
let's
this
say,
case, it would be like a negative spin.
No, but wait, let me finish. Let me finish on my. So we learned that. Let's say we learned that in beginning of Wano, midway through Wano, right? We learned that their epitaph is that, right? And then we get the Olden thing. That Olden was born to boil. Okay, and then cool, really cool moment. And then we get to this moment, right? And then Hiyori, she's just spinning it in her way because of course they hate it. She hated Orochi. Everyone hates Orochi. So she uses it and she spins it on Orochi. It's like it's funny. You were born to burn and you're dying from fire. You know what I mean? I think if we get that, I think this moment will hit harder. And I think not people will not be so critical on it. I think she still needs to say Kurosumi Orochi was born to burn. Because if she just says Kurosumi, but yeah, I think it'll be nice, right? If that was like their slogan, we hear about it, and then we get this moment, and she's like spinning it. I think that would be really nice. Someone tweeted that when they read this, at first they were like disgusted, like that's, like why Hiyori, why is she saying this, But then the person thought that that maybe I forgot what was it. Maybe what Hiyori, she's like, it's funny, Olden kept saying he was born to boil, but he shouldn't have been boiled, right? So it's like kind of funny. It's like destiny in a way. It's funny. Olden kept saying that your last name is charcoal, so it's funny that you die like this from fire. basically what the person, but yeah, according to the Japanese readers, she's just referring to Orochi, I guess, because Japanese is weird, it's complex, so all the according to the Japanese reader,
translating from English to Japanese and Japanese to English is not the easiest thing in the
yeah.
world.
Yeah, so according to the Japanese reader, Oda, he used a singular form of kurosumi, so it wasn't like he was referring to Orochi, according to the readers. Again, we just need to wait on the biz to see how they handle it. But yeah, a lot of people, a lot of live reactors. Not actually, there was one King Recon. This is the first live reaction I see of him. But he's known in the community for like these really over the top live reactions. So I saw this one because I'm curious how people are handling this moment. And he was actually hype. He was hype. Like he was basically me when I first read it for the first time. When I first read it, I even did the pose because he was born to burn. So Kirika was hype and he actually enjoyed it. But other people when they read it, they instantly like JD Legend, he instantly realized there's a bad message, And then here's another way. I already briefly mentioned this earlier, but yeah, the whole country, they hate the Kurosumi, specifically Orochi. But what was it? Oda, he likes to write like complex characters, So not everyone, not for example Green Bull. Green Bull, he's probably he's like a bigot, prejudice, pre-stability, like he's not the he's not the he's not that good of a guy, So it makes sense, although he just like writes complex characters, so it makes sense again for everyone to hate Orochi and to say stuff like this. But it's funny. Someone tweeted that all his themes are bipolar because of this and because of Green Bull, and he posted the scene of Frankie where he says it's not sent to be born or something like that to Robin, and then someone go with three saying these are three completely different characters, so I don't know what you're saying. These are three different characters with different ideals, with different motivations, life experience, and everything. So that tweet was dumb. That was just a dumb tweet. Whoever tweeted that. So it just Hiyori wants to do something different. I think Momo will not agree with this. What do you think? Do you think Momo will agree with something like this?
The whole.
I don't know. It's tough.
He does say Orochi.
Yeah. Also, another funny thing. Yeah, another funny thing. They're saying they're talking about Orochi like this, but everyone in, like, for example, the Scabbards, they're fine with Yamato. Momo's fine with Yamato, and Yamato is the daughter of Kaido. The man. So it's just it's funny. But yeah, I don't think Momo. I don't know. I don't think Momo.
It's just funny that Kaido is completely glossed over in comparison with Orochi here.
Yeah.
I mean, Orochi was pretty bad, but like I'm pretty sure they both have equal blame.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. But also, like Tekken said in his review, he assumes that the stuff that we got in the chapter was like brief moments of the whole play, because if if this guy is saying everything from the beginning of the raid, before when Kanjuro revealed he was the traitor. So if he's like talking from that moment to the end, then there has to be a bunch of explanations. Like there's like stuff that we didn't got to hear. Maybe like the Kaido stuff. And then it's funny because the citizens of Wano, they don't know the Straw Hats, they don't know Law and Kid or Big Mom. So it's funny. I just imagine the dude when he's doing the play, he has like brief moments like, okay, now and then we need to introduce Robin. So Robin, and then he gives like Robin's backstory. Someone probably told him, like someone probably wrote, okay, here's Robin, here's Luffy, here's what they're about, this is what they do. I just imagine him having like brief moments like that, explaining who the characters are. I know this will never happen. Oh, no, wait, actually no, because in Japan they do live action kabuki plays for One Piece, if I'm correct. So,
Oh, really?
yeah. We actually, if you go to the wiki, and for example, if you write, I think the Flamingo, like his crew, I think there's like a filler, like a character from the play in the list, if I'm correct. I think same thing with the Beast Pirates and other characters. So yeah, they do like live action kabuki plays, and the costumes are really good. Like it's a pretty high budget kabuki play. So if they do that, I think it will be interesting if they do a play of this, of the tale that he's saying, of this specifically. So I think that will be interesting, like, and something interesting they could do, you know, for money out there. So yeah, that's the. Anything else you want to say about the Hiyori thing?
Pretty controversial, to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people don't like it, and then I'm seeing people who don't like it. They don't want to hear, like, they don't want to read the dude on Reddit who explained the whole situation. So they just hating it for hating it on it. Like, the explanation is right there. You could, learn why it was written that way, and then you could come with a different opinion. But no, they still want to hate on this moment, for no
People
reason.
be like that.
Yeah, people be like that. Like, not sure if you're aware, this is Sabo meme from One Piece. Sabo as a kid, and the meme is that he's reading this book, and then Sabo, he's not reading this book, he's not talking, and then he closes the book, puts it away, and he says, "I'm not going to read this shit." So, so no, he actually, and the funny thing, he actually says this in the clip. So people use that clip when they don't want to read something. So people, I saw one dude posted and like, "Oh, I'm not going to read this reply of how explaining the whole thing." So I'm like, come on, man, like, just read it. It's like, it's just two images. There's two images explaining the whole situation. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I didn't saw no problem, and I enjoyed it after hearing other people's complaint. I see what they're saying, but it's like Little Dicky and Pillow Talk. I hear what you're saying. The universe is always expanding. So there are infinite galaxies. Why would we be the anomaly? I call that shit God. So yeah. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I have my opinion. You will have yours. So yeah, there's that. And I think that's all, because the rest of the chapter is like straightforward.
Pretty tame.
Yeah, pretty tame. Yeah, Yamato and Momo and Kinemon, I guess they're technically honorary Straw Hats until whenever they decide to, like, like Luffy says, if any of you ever want to be pirates, I'll come for you right away. So yeah, there's that. I like that he mentions Kinemon, Yamato, Momo, because forever, for the long, throughout the videos I've been saying Kinemon and Momo should join the crew. I guess Yamato could join, as a bonus. And Tama and all that. And going back to the Kurosumi thing, there's this theory that Tama, she's a Kurosumi, and Tama is the Dango girl, the Dango girl. So so yeah, there's this theory that she's a Kurosumi, and not sure if I mentioned it in the video, but the Japanese readers remember her flashback. Her parents died, and we saw the graves. So the Japanese reader, they deduce that the kanji for Kurosumi are on the graves. So that's basically confirmation for the theory that Tama is a Kurosumi. So there's this funny drawing that someone did of Hiyori. She's hugging Otoko, her, like, the little girl that she's friends with. She's like hugging Otoko, and she's like, "Oh, the Kurosumi are gone." And Tama is like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I'm a Kurosumi." That they do a boiling pot, just like all them. and then they're like pulling Tama to the pot, right? And then Yamato is the background. She's like, "Oh, a boiling pot. It's time to boil like old." And then she like jumps into the pot, and then they're like, "No." Yeah, and they're like, "No, don't do it, Yamato." So it's funny. Like, it's funny, yeah. So yeah, I don't think the thing, I'm not sure if Tama even knows she's a Kurosumi. Maybe her family, maybe her parents never told her that she's a Kurosumi, because the parents probably know that this cycle will probably continue.
Man, she doesn't
Yeah,
even know if she was born to burn.
yeah, she doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't know. Um, but but yeah, there's that. And then someone did mention before the chapter, I think so last week probably, like Randy Troy, I think he mentioned like last week that it would be cool if we see there's like moments like at the end of Wano that someone's like, oh, I'm a Kurosumi, like people that we seen throughout Wano. Like remember like this old lady from Ebisu Town, and she's like, oh, I'm a Kurosumi. But because of the chapter, that's not going to happen. If there's actual Kurosumi still alive, that's just not going to happen. Unless the people Wano actually learns, like Momo teaches them, or Yamato, or both, teach them that you should not think like this. We actually, we need to better ourselves, and someone said, I'm not sure if you're aware, people they ship Hiyori and Zoro, so
Oh yeah.
so they're like, oh, they're perfect they're perfect together. They're both races. They're both races. Um, yeah. Hiyori this chapter, she was like Childish Gambino, in that one song that he's like, if there's Asian girls here, Minority Report. I think it's Freaks and Geeks. I think it's like a song on YouTube. So, but yeah, Hiyori was like that. Zoro, So yeah, they're perfect for together. Oh man, the people been drawing Hiyori with a Hitler mustache and
Oh
like
wow.
yeah, and then the guy saying the play, they've been drawing him with like the Nazi band, but instead of the
Oh,
Nazis,
the Nazi armband.
yeah, but instead of with the Nazi symbol, it's the Kurosumi symbol.
Oh,
So, but yeah, people they're busy. They've been busy this past
they're
24
having a
hours.
field day with us.
Yeah, they're having field days with us with all the memes and all that. But yeah, it's funny. The memes are funny. But hopefully the biz clears this up. That's all I'm hoping for. And if the biz doesn't clear this up, then this is going to continue.
Yeah.
The cycle of hatred. this
Yeah.
the cycle of hatred for this moment is going to continue.
Yeah.
If the biz doesn't clear this up. Oh man, yeah. I think that's all. I really don't. I'm going back to the chapter. Oh yeah. When I read this, when I woke up, this actually got me a little bit emotional. I didn't cry, but this moment with Momo right here got me a little bit emotional. I was like, oh damn, they're leaving the best character in Wano. So, of course, I'm not talking about Yamato because some people say that Yamato is the best character in Wano. But
No.
oh yeah, not even close. Those are like the hardcore Yamato fans. But yeah, it sucks. They're leaving Momo behind. Hopefully, like I mentioned earlier, hopefully in the final war, we get to see Momo, Kinemon, the Scabbers, Yamato, and they join for the final war. So yeah.
I mean, but I hope by the time the final war rolls around, like she will explore all of Wano.
Yeah, and I don't know, like develop as a character. It's just a shame if if she does develop as a character, we didn't saw it on screen. That would be like the only.
And I have my doubts that even like I'm pretty sure she'll appear in a cover story. Well, like
Oh yeah, a cover story like Yamato's. Yeah, like Yamato's adventure through
escapades in
Wano.
Wano.
Yeah, Yamato's escapades in Wano. Yeah. Someone
But
mentioned.
I don't think like we'll see that, but like I don't think we'll see like a radical development. Like we're not gonna see like her like realizing she's not old, something like that. Like
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
ain't gonna go from point A to point B.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yamato's escapades throughout Wano. um, Someone mentioned, I think it was Tekken or someone else mentioned that it'll be cool if Yamato basically makes her own little like group, like olden than like Scabbers, but like the 10 blue Scabbers or whatever. Like she meets a group of people. That'll be interesting. And then whenever she joins for the final war, she will have even more. There will be more people helping out the Straw Hats in the final war. So yeah, I think that will be nice. Yeah. There's that. I think that's pretty much it. So I guess predictions for next chapter. Hopefully we see the bounties because we really haven't seen any of the Straw Hat bounties. Only Luffy. So
Yeah.
hopefully, yeah, hopefully bounty reveals. Someone saying some Randy Troy, he's been pushing the agenda that Vivi got a bounty, and because Wapol probably told Morgans that Vivi was part of the crew, so that they'll probably give her a bounty because of that. That would be cool. That Vivi got a bounty. Um, I forgot. I think I didn't mention this in the last video, but if I did, and I just forgot, so I'm going to mention it now. Um, people are saying some people are saying that Kuma did something that uses the Ofru on BB and send her off somewhere, right? But I
Okay.
think I think that was actually Blackbeard, not him, but one of his crew members. I forgot his name. Shiryu of the Shiryu. So yeah, Shiryu, since he ate the invisible fruit, I think Blackbeard ordered Shiryu to go into Mari Joe's and maybe get baby. Why? I don't know. But maybe Blackbeard knows something that we don't, and he's like, "Oh, we need to get baby." So he did that, and that's why she disappeared, because they're like, "Ah, she disappeared suddenly." The only time in the series that we heard someone said, "Ah, they just disappeared suddenly," was with Don Flamingo talking to, I think it was Kong, or he was talking to a Marine. Not sure it was Kong, but he was talking to someone, and that was pretty time skip. So they ordered Don Flamingo to kill Moria. Not sure why, but they ordered to. Don Flamingo's excuse was because he was weak. But like they're not going to kill someone because they're weak. Because Don Flamingo says Moria asks, "Who ordered you to do this? Was this Sengoku?" And he says, "No, someone higher up." Obviously, the girl will say. The girl will say will not like kill you because you're weak. There has to be more to that. But
Yeah.
yeah, we gotta wait and see, of course. But anyway, so Don Flamingo, he's reporting to this random Marine the situation, and the dude's like, "Did you kill Moria?" And he's like, "Actually, funny story. When I confronted him, and he just disappeared." He's like, "Well, he vanished. Well, like out of nowhere." And then the dude's like, "What do you mean he vanished? He just disappeared. Like, oh, yeah, that's I was there, and he poof, he vanished." And then he's like, "I didn't know his Delver could do that. Weird, strange, pretty strange." And the Flamingo, he really didn't care. He's like, like he didn't care for the job. So he's like, he just vanished. Whatever. Later on, we learned that was Absalom, the invisible guy. He turned Moria invisible, and that's how he managed to escape the war. So that's why I think was actually Shiryu who took Bibi, and because they said she just disappeared suddenly. Which I always remember that scene with the flamingo, because it's for me it's like a really funny moment how the flamingo was talking and his mannerism. He's like, "Oh, she just disappeared." I mean, he just disappeared. Moria. Oh, wow, crazy. Didn't know you could do that. So yeah, that's what I think.
It's
Um,
so casual.
yeah, it's like, wow, it just happened. Wow, crazy world we living in. Like the flipping crazy world we living in. Man. So yeah, that's what I think. I'm okay with Kuma because that also makes sense. Kuma, of course, and like if you don't know his Delphi, you think he straight up just killed you, because if you don't know how the Delphi works, like
Yeah.
remember like when Perona,
Luffy was breaking down.
yeah, Luffy was,
Oh.
yeah, and then when he did the first time we see Kuma, when he did that to Perona, like we thought she was straight up dead. Nami thought that Kuma killed Perona because she just disappeared. So yeah, it could be Kuma or Black. I think it just Kuma is the safest bet because Kuma was there. But I think it would be more interesting if it was Blackbeard and he sent someone to do it. That's what I think. Because it just Blackbeard said one of the act breaks. He said, "Come on, boys, let's go get it before the Marines does." Like, what was he referring to? Like, maybe, like like I said, maybe he sent Shiryu to be in the reverie, make sure everything's okay. Then Shiryu report to Blackbeard, like, "Yo, I just learned something crazy." And then he does that, and that's why they're like, "Come on, man, let's get it before the Marines does." I don't know. That's what I think. I think it will be more interesting that way. What do you think about this little crazy Blackbeard theory?
I mean, it sounds plausible. I honestly forgot that the Absalom's fruit could make other things invisible, not just himself, but like other things. I
Yeah, yeah,
honestly forgot about that.
yeah. Like during his fight with Sanji, Absalom had like invisible air guns in his arm, and Sanji was since Sanji knew about the Devil Fruit, he knew that that was impossible. Like the invisible air had to be something that he had invisible. So so Sanji using his intelligence to beat Absalom there. So yeah. Um I don't know, like I said, it'll be interesting, but I just don't know why. Why will Blackbeard go after Vivi? We know Eam is interested in BB, and since Eam, like, it's like one of those things. Okay, this character is interested in this character, so that means this character has to be interested too, because
Yeah, yeah.
characters they know more than we do, of course. So yeah,
Of course, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, there's that. What else? Oh yeah, the whole. I guess that's all. Oh yeah, predictions. For that you were talking about predictions for next chapter. I forgot what we were talking about. So
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah.
the bounty reveals? Since the act ended, all the the act slash arc, the arc also ended. I think next chapter we're not going to see the Straw Hats. I think next chapter we're going to see what's happening around the
Morgan.
world. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Morgan.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that would
Oh
be
yeah.
amazing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
Next
ooh, ooh.
chapter. Next chapter has to be a good chapter because these are the moments where Oda shines the most. Like the chapters between arcs.
Yeah.
That's when he
Oh my. Oh,
Oh yeah.
amazing world building. Oh,
Oh yeah.
I'm a sucker
So
for that.
mm-hmm. Yep. Hopefully, so yeah, hopefully we see what's happening with Boogie, ¿Qué está pasando con Boogie? ¿Qué pasó con Boogie? ¿Qué pasó con
Yeah.
Crocodile? Like what's happening with them? You know?
Why are Mihawk and Crocodile
Yeah.
under fucking
Yeah.
fight?
Why me hugging crocodiles on the Boogie,
Why they agreed to it?
Yeah. What happened to Boa? They captured Boa, is she a slave now because she was a slave, so
Did
what else?
Kobe won the fight?
Oh yeah. The Kobe won the fight, or the SSG won the fight. The thing that Vegapunk created. Who won that fight if Boa did lost? What else? I guess Weevil, where he is in the world. If he's if all that has to make him relevant. So what happened with Weevil? What else? What are crazy things? I guess more information on the Reverie. I guess that would be nice.
Yeah.
Actually, my brother told me he's almost up to date with One Piece. Says he's been rereading. He's like a couple of chapters behind. So he told me that the fishmen they said we're going to the Reverie and we're going to vote on our situation. Like, are they going to go to the surface? They're going to discuss that in the Reverie. They're going to bring it up at least. And we actually didn't got an update on that. Like, did King Neptune brought up during the Reverie about the situation? Like, they want to move up to the surface. If you think about it, that's like the least important thing that came about this Reverie. So
Yeah.
so yeah, it makes sense that we didn't learn about that situation. But still, it'll be interesting to find out if they ever did brought it up.
Yeah.
So there's that. Um.
Maybe something about Uranus.
Oh yeah, Uranus. Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah,
And oh.
because we know about Pluton and we know about Poseidon, but we don't know who or what Uranus is besides being a weapon.
Yeah. And the I just remembered. Oh, another prediction for next chapter. If we do get to see the Straw Hats, it'll be hilarious and really nice if Kara is on the ship. Like as a stowaway. Oh man, because someone tweeted that Karas and Yamato fans were arguing all these years for nothing because Kara didn't join and Yamato didn't join. But if Kara, like, next chapter she's on the ship, that would be hilarious. People will be even more angry. The Yamato fans will be angry and the Kara fans will be happy. And another thing, it's something that my brother told me. During the during the prison mine in Udon. I think Luffy. I forgot how the conversation started, but Karibu was like, "I'll help you if you help me leave this island" or something like that. And Luffy's like, "Yeah, sure." So it would be funny if
Also, Karibu's gonna be a stowaway.
No, it would be funny if Karibu was on the ship. Yeah, it would be hilarious. If so, so we're leaving with Carrot and Karibu. That would be hilarious. Yeah, and although this said we're going to get back to back Straw Hats. So the back to back Straw Hats were Jinbei, Carrot, and Karibu. Oh, that would be hilarious. I'll find it funny. Karibu, he has a really useful Dorfu, so him being in the crew for a while would be useful. He's not he's not the best person in the world, of course, but still his Dorfu useful.
Yeah.
Luffy and Sanji and Zoro they could easily handle him. And Jinbei, they could easily handle him if he does something, if he tries to do something. So yeah, I think that would be funny, if Karibu was around.
Question. Do we know the island the Straw Hats are going to? Like, do we have any confirmation?
No, but I was going to bring it up. So,
Okay.
people are predicting what the next island could be. So the obvious choice will be Elbaf. That's like the obvious.
True.
Yeah, but I think, well, before I say what I think, Randy Troy, he's hoping that is Sphinx Island. That's Whitebeard's like his home island, where Marco was, and that's Ace Grave is there, and Whitebeard's grave is there. The reason why, so he's hoping that that's the next island because it'll be a really short arc, right? Luffy just visits Ace Grave. He, I guess, some emotional moment there. Maybe he will say like to the grave, like, "Oh, Ace, I'm a great pirate now," And maybe Weevil will show up, and they have, it's like a quick mini arc with Weevil. They handle him, and then we go to Elbaf. So, and maybe Marco will talk about something about the One Piece or whatever, to help the Straw Hats out a bit. Maybe Marco will give a hint of where's the last the world poneglyph, So yeah. But I think the next island could be Vera, the one random island that
No.
for some reason was mentioned in the Roll to Laugh Tale.
No.
No.
I genuinely forgot.
So as a refresher, and also for the people who hasn't read Roll to Laugh Tale, in the Roll
Or
to Laugh Tale, or seen the vid. So in the Roll to Laugh Tale, yeah. So in Roll to Laugh Tale, Oda, he mentioned, not Oda, his editors, because Oda didn't roll, it was his editors. So Oda's editors wrote that, where's the last red poneglyph? Is it Elbaf? Is it Full of Lead Island? That's Blackbeard Island. Or is it Vera? And if you're casual, I didn't know what Vera was. I'm like, Vera, this is just a random island. So Vera was only mentioned twice in the series. They describe it as a sunny port island, but now it's been plagued by revolutions and coups and all that, so it's not a good place to live. So they mentioned it's somewhere in the Grand Line, which the New World is part of the Grand Line. So maybe Beerus the next island. I don't know. They did mention it like randomly. So like I don't know if Oda, because again the editors wrote this, not Oda, but I'm pretty sure the editors did ask Oda to give them a random list of islands, and they just picked those. So yeah, I don't know. It will be if we do go to Vera. It also will probably be a quick mini arc. They'll probably just go there. Maybe beat the revolutionaries, because it's plagued. The island is just plagued by revolutions and all that. So yeah, maybe we'll see the revolutionary army there. But yeah, I hope it just Elbaf, like they just go to Elbaf. But like we're in this moment that we really don't know what's going to happen next, because throughout the New World, we excluding Punk Hazard, because Punk Hazard was like a random detour, for the Straw Hats. So like ever since Punk Hazard, we know where we're going next, because Punk Hazard is like, oh, let's go to this Rosa, we have to go there, so this Rosa, and then like, oh, we have to go to Zoe after this Rosa, so we went to Zoe, and then Whole Cake was a detour too, and so like, oh, we gotta go to Whole Cake, and then we go to Wano. Now we're in the point that we don't know where we're going next. So it's really interesting. It's been like this is like pre-time skip territory, and the pre-time skip we didn't know where we're going next. Every island was like a mystery, you know.
Yeah.
So,
pretty much a wild card. Wild card.
Yeah, it's a wild card next island. So I do love that we really don't know where we're going next. So yeah. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, we don't know where we're going. it could be anywhere. Yeah, it could be anywhere. Yeah. So yeah. Something we do know is that each of the islands that were optioned, each of them were like dangerous. So at least according to Usopp, you know. But also, yeah, that's according to Usopp. Usopp sees everything as dangerous, so we don't know if that's like true. But at least according to Usopp, every option was dangerous. So it didn't matter which one Luffy picked. All the options were going to be bad. So yeah. Someone, Brandy Troy, he says that it would be cool if the Straw Hats they go like to Sphinx, for example, or to a random island. And then when they go to Elbaf, Kid is actually in Elbaf and he's causing chaos. And then Luffy will fight Kid in Elbaf, you know, which that's gonna be a wash. You know, that's gonna be a wash. That's not gonna be a fight, you know. It's just, you know, like a couple punches in there, Kid should be down. You know, like realistic speaking, just a couple of red rocks, like probably one good red rock, and Kid should be down. So yeah. But still, it will be interesting, you know, to see Kid as the enemy. Which, you know, that's what Law said. Next time we see, we're going to be enemies. So yeah, there's that. Anything else about future predictions? No. Like I said, we're in the point in the series that like we could predict anything. And it probably could happen because anything could happen at this point. So any final thoughts though?
Eat your vegetable, kids.
Yep. Okay. So yeah. And you said the chapter was alright. You know, earlier you mentioned right was a decent chapter.
Wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Bad, but it did have some disappointing moments.
Yeah. yeah. And I guess and you know, since this is technically the ending of the arc, some people are saying, you know, Wano has been a disappointment overall, but I guess that's a discussion for another day. That's like for another video. So yeah.
Maybe it's just this rose all over again.
No, yeah, because I have noticed, and other people have noticed, that every current arc is always the bad arc, and then when years have passed, people reread the arc and they're like, you know, the arc was actually good. In the case of Wano, I don't see that happening because I don't know, Wano did have its flaws, you know. Yeah.
It has its moments. It has its good moments.
Yeah. It has, you know, the high like JD Legend said. It was a funny analogy. He said that Wano is like a terrible relationship, like a toxic relationship. The highs are like incredible. They're like insane, but the lows are really low. The toxic relationships and the lows are really low. So that's how he described Wano. Oh man, I will send you the video. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's,
that's the thing. Wow.
Yeah.
What's a toxic relationship?
Yeah, he compared Wano to a toxic relationship, and he's like, "I'm glad I could finally talk about what I think about Wano because it's over." Because it's funny. It's funny. When we got to the Yamato scene where she said that she's staying, he's like, "I'm glad." He's like, I'm not disappointed. I'm glad that she's staying. I don't want to see her ever again. Although he wasted. He's like, although he wasted our time with Yamato, you know, like he's like, I don't want to see her again in the final war. Nothing. It was hilarious. And, like, man, was and then he's like, I'm glad this is over. I don't care. He, she, they. I don't care. This is done. This is over. I don't want to hear this conversation ever again. It's over. It ends here. It's like
Damn.
Yeah. It was hilarious. I agree. He don't spit. He was spitting. I disagree with his moment with Hiyori. You know, like we mentioned earlier. But you know what's funny? You know, I found this hilarious. I don't know if people were joking, but when he was talking about Hiyori, that this is trash and whatever, people were saying Golda, this moment is fire, peak. Like I don't know if they were joking, you know, because the negative connotations of that scene, you know. her basically promoting genocide. That's what she was doing. But yeah. And then at the end, he's glad that Wano's over. Toxic relationship. So yeah, I think the chapter was pretty good. Like I think like you mentioned earlier, it's not as good as the previous chapters. The previous chapters were way better. But
yeah, they were fire.
yeah, they were fire. Yeah, fuego. And but this one was decent. It was pretty decent. And it sucks, because although he does a really good job because the last page of arc, then them saying goodbye to Vivi, actually no, I think, like I'm blanking on like I guess this is like the last moment of Fishman Island, but Luffy giving the blood to Jinbei, that's all, like one of the last moments. That's a really good scene. And here, the like okay, they left. I think what would be really nice if we see the flag, the Straw Hat flag somewhere, like I think it will be really cool. I think the flag will fit perfectly right here, and right here in the capital. I don't know if you see my mouse, but right there, the flag will look really nice.
In the capital,
yeah,
the
right
capital building.
Yeah, because it's a really big flag. So if they have it there, you will see it from miles away. So yeah, I think that would be a really nice place to have it. So yeah, I guess that's all. I'm guessing that's all. So yeah, that's the video.
Folks.
Yeah, that's all, folks. That's the video. Leave your like if you like dislike if you don't. Anything clever to say, Leo? But just subscribe.
Hit the subscribe button, just like Ezra Miller hit us with apology.
He apologized, or didn't
yeah, they managed to apologize.
Okay.
They have some complex mental issues.
Okay.
Those mental must be wild, cause damn, their life is a movie at this point.
Yeah. I haven't been on Twitter, so yeah, I haven't been keeping up with all that, and some other stuff. So yeah, do that, like and hit the bell as well. So yeah, that's the video. See you.
Kisses.
Kisses. Hugging kisses. X and O's. I will leave this part. Yeah, X's and O's. Yeah, smooshes. Wait.